Nanalal Bhatt Vaishnav College for Women Autonomous, Chennai. Dr. Mukunda Rajpankhe sir, Head Department of English, Yashwantrao Chauhan College, Ambazogai. Vice Principal Dr. Ramesh Shinde. Participants join from different universities, states, and countries. Research scholars, distinguished guests, subject experts, professors, and research students from the different universities. As a convener of this international seminar, I heartily welcome all of you in this seminar. Department of English planned to organize this international seminar on translation studies and contemporary literature. Honorable President of Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, Prakash Dada Solanke, MLA, Honorable Satish Chauhan, MLC, Secretary, Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, Dr. Narendra Kale, Honorable Dattatreya Patil. Because of this inspirational and visionary CDC, our college is walking on the path of academic success. Department of English intentionally has chosen the theme Translation Studies and Contemporary Literature, which has a crucial relevance to the present situation and present era. As we know, we have crossed all the boundaries and shadow lines of the caste, nation, and gender. Also, we have crossing the shadow lines of languages. So, there is a need to understand literature from different languages and translated literature. We should read literature from different languages, and that should be translated in different languages. Many revolutions have been caused by literature, such as French Revolution, and in that Indian freedom struggle also. Simone de Beauvoir's The Second Sex, Nadia Murad's The Last Girl, such books were banned for some time. But these books tried to reform the society. So there is a need to translation of such books. So there is actually I would like to give example of Marathi book Bhagat Singh's Mi Nastik Ka Ahe. Such books are inspiring books to youth. Karl Marx literature has made change in social structure. Today, world is walking on the path of non-violence and truth given by Mahatma Gandhi. I would like to mention here the one book, translated book, One Part Women of Perumal Murugan, which focuses on the tradition, culture, societal norms. Such translated books are very important to know the world very well. We come to know through the translated literature the culture and lifestyle of the human beings on the earth. And I think it is noble responsibility as a human being to understand the literature, society, region in different languages and translations made by translators. It is a noble work done for the society. And actually, such translations are important to know about the forthcoming opportunities and lifestyle. So, I welcome once again all in this international seminar. And now, I request Dr. Mukunda Rajpankhe sir for the welcome address. Rajpankhe sir.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Ahilya Barure. Very nice to listen you introducing the international seminar organized by Department of English. In the beginning, I wholeheartedly pay respect to Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal and our institution which runs at Ambazogai, Yashwantrao Chauhan College, Ambazogai. Honorable dignitaries present here for this event. Dr. Mustajib Khan sir, who is about to give keynote address for this seminar. Honorable Principal of our college, Dr. Shirsat sir. Honorable dignitaries who are about to speak in various sessions. Dr. Nagakala Gopal Krishnan, Dr. Divya Prabha Pazani Madam, and the delegates. Within 2-3 minutes, I'm going to introduce Department of English. Dear friends, Yashwantrao Chauhan College is an institution and which is one of the branches of Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal. Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal was honored by state government of Maharashtra as one of the best institutions leading value education in Maharashtra. Yashwantrao Chauhan College was established during 1972. During the academic year 2022, we had celebrated Golden Jubilee year. This department has been rendering services at graduation level. We run UG program at BA, BCom and BSc. At the same time, we also run PG program in English language and literature. And it really gives me pleasure to tell you that from last few years, we have been rendering services to do PhD in English. Near about 27 scholars are doing PhD in the research center of our college. And the college has been continuously giving quality education. NAC has re-accredited this typical college with A+ grade. More than 50 certificate courses take place here. University certificate courses are there, college level certificate courses are there. And the students coming from regional area, rural area are supported for quality education. There are meritorious students, top scorers from the university, top rankers. Golden opportunities are given to the students to learn by providing all types of education. Offline, online classes run. Programs like this also take place on the level at offline and online. And this event is typically organized for all those researchers and especially the students who are more interested in translation studies. It has become necessity for us to go through the world literature, and international harmony is expected to be created. The hundreds of hazards are there, difficulties are there which are killing humanity, separating people from each other, and the culture of the world is expected to be understood, is expected to be introduced to the school, to the college, to the university level education, as a result of which it will be possible for us to have love, friendship, honor for you, for all, for the family, and in all, for the whole world. So keeping this view in mind, Dr. Ahilya Barure took initiative for having such a kind of concept to be introduced to the students of our college and abroad. Regardingly, the guests are honorably requested to have talk about this, and very happy to say that Dr. Mustajib Khan sir from Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, the member Dr. Nagakala is from Saudi Arabia, and she is going to speak about the links which are expected to be understood by the students and research faculty in relation to literature, especially in translation studies. I wholeheartedly welcome all, and providing this little information of the Department of Yashwantrao Chauhan College and our mother institution, Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, I take leave of all, and I wholeheartedly welcome everybody. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Ahilya Barure.
Thank you, sir. Now
Yeah.
I request and invite our inspiration and chairperson of this international seminar, principal of our college, Honorable Dr. Shivdas Shirsat sir, for principal's address. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Mr. Asif. Make the mic on. Yes, sir.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I salute the sacred memory of late Vinayak Ravji Patil, the founder member of Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, and late Yeshwantrao Chavan. Today, I am very happy to inaugurate the international seminar organized by Department of English and IQAC. I am grateful to Honorable MLA Prakash Dada Solanke, President Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Honorable ML Sri Satish Bhau Chavan, General Secretary, Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, and Honorable Dattatreya Abba Patil, Honorable Dr. Narendra Ji Kade, and all Honorable CDC members, the office bearers of all the organization have given their best wishes for this national international seminar. Today, our guest of honor and inaugurator of this seminar, my friend and guide, Professor Dr. Mustajib Khan sir, Professor and Head, Department of English, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Maharashtra. Keynote addresser, Honorable Dr. Nagakala Gopal Krishna, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Science College, IA University, Dammam, Saudi Arabia. Other research person, Honorable Dr. Divya Prabha Pajahani, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Srimati Devkumar Nanalal Bhatt Vaishnav College for Women, Chennai. My college Vice Principal, Dr. Ramesh Shinde, Dr. Raj Pankhe, Head Department of English and Coordinator IQAC, convener of this seminar, Dr. Ahilya Barure, Co-Coordinator IQAC, Dr. Vasant Gaikwad, member of the team International Seminar on Translation Studies and Contemporary Literature. Dear delegates, all over India and abroad, all the guest resource persons, research scholars, and students present for the international seminar organized by the Department of English. I wholeheartedly welcome you all. I appreciate your scholarly presence of for this international seminar on the translation. Translation has become need of time. India being a country to understand each other. Translation work as mediator to share innovative ideas and new knowledge generate in all the fields of life need to be shared to the whole world. English help us as it is understood by the whole world. Book of science, technology, and literature need to be translated in English and other Indian languages. Our problem can be easily solved if we learn art and techniques of translation. Rich Indian languages production can be easily translated and national and international harmony can be easily achieved. I congratulate Department of English for the organizing this international seminar on I hope this seminar will be helpful to the participants in future. Once again, thank you all. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Chairperson, esteemed guests, distinguished speakers, and respected faculty members and dear research scholars. It is my privilege to introduce Honorable Dr. Mustajib Khan, an eminent academician, scholar, and theatre expert. Dr. Khan has been a professor in the Department of English at Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar since 1996. Sir has played a crucial role in shaping the field of translation studies, contemporary literature, drama, theatre, and cultural studies. Over the years, Dr. Khan sir has mentored numerous research scholars and contributed significantly to literary and theatrical discourse. Sir is a renowned playwright, theatre activist, and translator. He has authored several plays including Pailatiri, Antariche Dave, and Speechless. His expertise is stagecraft and light effects has earned him multiple Best Light Effects Awards at Maharashtra Rajya Natya Spardha organized by the government of Maharashtra's Cultural Ministry. Academically, Dr. Khan sir has invited as a resource person at various national and international conferences and seminars. Sir has also been recognized with the Shikshak Pratibha Puraskar by the Department of Mass Communication and Journalism at Dr. Bamu. His involvement in academic bodies is remarkable. He is an executive council member of the Indian Society for Theatre Research and the Maharashtra coordinator and life member of ASLED. Today, as we gather for this international seminar on translation studies and contemporary literature, we are honored to have Dr. Khan sir as the inaugurator of this international seminar. I now request Khan sir to inaugurate the seminar and share his valuable insights. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Borore madam. I think I am audible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Mukund sir, thank you. It's my honor that Yeshwantrao Chauhan College, Ambazogai, has invited me for inaugurating the international seminar on translation studies. First of all, the responsibility which is given to me by the college, I should fulfill that responsibility. Now, with the permission of the chair, I declare that the seminar is inaugurated.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome. Translation studies, so far as this discipline is concerned, it is somehow a young discipline in the field of studies as such. But translations are always part of the civilized society. Very interestingly, we live in India, and India is a multilingual country where more than one language is being used by all the people, which is right now I can say 140 crore Indians. They understand more than one languages, and that's why it is a need of this particular land and place that we should have a discipline like translation studies. Somehow translation studies in literary circle was part of comparative literature. So it has no separate existence as such. But being a part of comparative literature, it always helped to have a comparison of the two literary texts, two literary works with the help of translation. Now it is very much known to all of us that Dr. Rabindranath Tagore or Rabindranath Tagore is a Nobel laureate. And the book which he wrote, Gitanjali, is not written in English. Gitanjali is written in Rabindranath Tagore had given that book, had given that text to W.B. Yeats, who helped him translating the text into English. And this translation, when it reached to the world, gave him Nobel Prize for Literature. Even you can see the very famous Arabian writer, Najib Mahfouzi. Najib Mahfouzi also received Nobel Prize for Literature for his literary works, which was translated into English and reached to the rest of the world. Now, I'm sorry, am I not audible? Somebody's. So if you see to it, translation has played a very crucial role in making the literary work known to the people across the different languages. Now, it is not the case that when the translations have started to take place into English so that the world can able to know about what exactly is going to happen and what exactly is taking place in the other literary circle. But let me tell you one very interesting thing, that when Sanskrit was declined almost in India from 8th century, and from 8th century onwards, Persian became the language of the court. And so that you will find out most of the literary texts were written in Persian. Sanskrit was almost kept in an almirah where nobody takes care of what kind of language it should be and how it is helping the society to understand the problems and issues. But when Britishers started to rule, they realized the fact that if you want to rule the country, you need to understand each and every language of this particular land. So they revived Sanskrit. And Sir Warren Hastings, with his Royal Asiatic Society Library at Calcutta, started a department called Indology and made various Indologists to translate the texts of Sanskrit into English. And the best example for us to understand, to know that how this translation helped
Sir, excuse me, sorry to disturb you. Khan sir.
Yeah.
Extremely sorry to disturb you, sir. Your video is not on. Please.
That's why video is not started.
You are audible, but video is not on, sir.
Once I get ready. Yeah. That's why I didn't start that video, because if I start the video, then it is the audio will crack. That's why I haven't started.
Okay, sir.
I'll start it when I get a complete.
Okay.
Yeah, when I get complete bandwidth.
Okay, sir. Please,
no problem.
Please
carry on, sir.
Yeah. So I'm saying that the Indologists started to translate the texts, and they translated the well-known Indologist Sir William Jones is translated Abhigyan Shakuntalam from Sanskrit to English, and that translation of Abhigyan Shakuntalam by Sir William Jones gave a new kind of life to Sanskrit once again. And that's how Abhigyan Shakuntalam reached all across the world. So that is how the translations were taking place. It is not that the discipline is young, so the translation has just started. No, translations have taken place a lot. Even in India, you will find out there are multiple kind of translations from Bengali to Marathi and Marathi to Bengali. There were translations from different languages, and in Indian society, you will find out a complete set of translations have been taken place by the help of government, which is taken care under National Book Trust, and NBT has a section called Antar Bharti Kitab Shrinkhala, where you will find out in Antar Bharti Kitab Shrinkhala, NBT translates the texts from one language to another, from Marathi to English, English to Marathi, Marathi to Punjabi, and Punjabi to Hindi, and Hindi to English, and Hindi to Bangla, Bangla to Marathi. So they have a kind of multilingual translations that are taking place in Indian system, and that's why we can say it that the translations are part of Indian society. But does it mean that translations that are taking place in literary circle or translations that are helping the different jargons to be translated in someone's mother tongue uh, is the only process that translation studies talks about? And that is what we need to understand, the fact that translation studies is not at all discussing about the translation, but it is talking about how translation takes place. And translation studies is a kind of scientific kind of study where you will understand that how translations are taken place in one or another language. Because usually what happens when you translate one thing from other, you face a lot of issues and problems in translation. And it needs a scientific kind of study to find out that how these issues can be resolved. And for that, translation is not sufficient. For that, we need a kind of scientific study. And this scientific study is being done under the title of translation studies. And that's why translation studies is not simply translating one text from one part to another. Translation studies is a discipline, is a science where you will find out the translations are taking place. Now, if you look at it very carefully, a very known writer, a known translator from our region, because that helps most of the students and most of the scholars to find out certain texts of translation studies. So Jeremy Munday has published a book called Introduction to Translation Studies, where he mentioned it very categorically that translations are not of one type, but translations are of different kinds of types which you have to take care of while translating the text from one language to another, because languages have their own sense of translation, and this translation always carry a kind of different issues into it. For example, if you see that a translation most of the time is based on four different types of structures, and which translation studies very carefully studies, and I hope that this seminar will have a deliberations on these different kinds of issues which is required to take place, because if you are not taking care of all these issues, then it will be difficult for the upcoming scholar or student to understand that what exactly translation studies are going to do. And that's why it is very much important for all of us to realize, to understand the fact that translation studies, even a scholar like Dr. L.S. Deshpande, he has also mentioned it in his book, Translatology. And in that book, he mentioned it very systematically that translations are of different kinds or different bases are required when you translate certain things from one language to another. Now, it is not restricted that you are translating it from English to Marathi to English, or Bengali to English, or any language to English, or English to other language. It has got a common kind of structure in each and every language. Now, for example, if you are translating, you need to understand that there are semantic-based approach, there are structural-based approach, there are culture. And if you understand these bases, that on which base that the translation is taking place, then and then it is possible that you can have a complete kind of understanding about translation. And translation studies discusses about different theories. Translation studies discusses about the theory of semantic approach, or the theory of structural approach. And if you see that these translations which are taking place into the whole studies, this has got different kinds of developed at the theories that have been developed. So you need to understand. And if we see it very Studies have the studies have a different kind of theories that are required to take place, and if we are familiar with the theories that are part of the whole, it's easy for us to have a translation. The translation, because if I give an example, a very easy and simple example to understand that how the translations take place in different theories. The example is if I say a sentence in Marathi, I know there are other languages also, so it will be difficult for other scholars to understand, to know what kind of language. But let me tell you a cultural thing that we need to understand it. That if you are translating, if you're writing, if you are writing a kind of if you are uttering a sentence that there are certain cultural significance that we need to understand, and the cultural significance is such that if there is a sentence called "तिच्या अंगाला हळद लागली होती," and if try I try to understand this particular sentence, then it will be very much difficult for me to translate that sentence into a one particular language in English, because in English
Nice listening to you, sir. Hello, Barure madam.
the
Yes, sir.
concepts, such as the concepts of equivalence and concepts of polysemy, or what are the different kinds of polysystem that the theory of translation uses. Now, what is the Scopus theory, which is propounded by Hans Josef Vermeer? We need to understand all those things when we talk about translation studies. So translation studies is not a simple example of translation, because as I said, if you're talking about a translation and which is the basis which I said, social linguistic base, and if I'm talking about social linguistic base, I need to understand that how this social linguistic base is making most of us to have a translations in one particular direction. Now, if you look at it very carefully, there are certain cultural connotations which cannot be translated from one language to another, the source language to target language. And that's why it will be difficult to have a proper kind of words. And for that, you are having a support system like dictionaries and different internet sources, that those are called as the translator's tool to translate certain particular thing. So there are certain cultural translations, because, for example, if you are saying in Indian system, you have a word for your father's brother called chacha and your mother's brother called mama. These are the words which are very commonly used in Indian society. But if you try to translate those words into English, you don't get any other word. Culture of English system is something different. So there is a common word called uncle, paternal uncle, or so you don't have a very proper word for that which can denote, which can point out. If you are talking about nana and dada, you have only one word called grandfather. So these are certain restrictions that you find out when you are translating certain things. And if you're translating certain cultural things, if you're translating certain things which are based on certain kind of ideological senses, then it will be difficult for you to have these kinds of translations to take place. And that is what translation study tries to study very carefully and minutely in all those things. The last point which I'll make, and I'll stop because this is not my keynote address, this is an inaugurator's speech. So I'm poking very much into the area of keynote addressee, that I'm talking too much on these theories.
Yes.
Later on, the keynote addressee will point out on its own topic that how this will take place. But coming to a last point, and I'll stop afterwards, that nowadays it is very much difficult for all of us to understand that how these translations are taking place by the help of these internet sources and machines, especially the machine translations done by the Google Translate. And very unfortunately, most of us are following Google Translate very blindly. and trying to have a translation from the machines. No doubt these machines are helping us to find out certain difficult words which are not possible for us to have. But we are trying to get the kind of translations from Google or these similar types of machines or AI. We found that these machines are not yet familiar with the cultural connotations of the land. They are familiar with the structure of the language because English is based on SVOA, subject, verb, object. But it is not essential that other languages such as Marathi or other Indian languages should follow SVOA. It will have OVS or OSV. So you can have various kinds of structural changes. You find it out in every language. And that is what you need to understand when you're talking about a structural based translation. And that's why it is very much important for us to understand how this technique of translation takes place. And this translation studies speaks on these different techniques of translations. So with this, I stop and I thank all the organizers for giving me an opportunity to speak on this particular topic. Thank you. Thank you very much to all of you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for inaugurating this international seminar. We are grateful for your presence here as the inaugurator and gracious will. Thank you once again. Now, I would like to introduce keynote speaker. It is an honor to introduce Dr. Nagakala Gopal Krishnan, a seasoned academician and a dedicated educator with a rich teaching experience spanning over 3 decades across India, the Sultanate of Oman, Libya, and Saudi Arabia. She has served at the IA University Dammam, Saudi Arabia, and has contributed significantly to the field of linguistics, literature, and education. Honorable Ma'am holds multiple degrees, including a master's in English literature and Hindi literature, a master's in child mental health. Her research focuses on language variations in advertisements through a linguistic lens, and she has been actively involved in pre-research projects on identifying disadvantaged and low-achieving students. Her academic contributions extend beyond teaching. She has authored numerous articles, presented papers at prestigious national and international conferences and seminars. Honorable Ma'am's remarkable dedication to education has earned the recognition from the Ministry of Sultanate of Oman. It is a privilege to welcome such a distinguished scholar to this gathering, and I now invite Ma'am to share her thoughts on the topic is professionalism in translation. As a keynote speaker, I request Ma'am to share her views.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And I pray God for giving me this chance to give my ideas or share a little thoughts about on this topic. And I'm really grateful also to the institution who have recognized me and invited me to speak about this topic. And so I'm grateful for all the management and the like whoever is heading the institution and whoever is involved in this seminar or conference, whatever you say. And all the speakers like me, I mean, they are all well learned and all, maybe more than me, maybe not more than me, but still I have got a chance to speak something about this. So I wish all of you a very good morning and a very happy and successful day for this event to go along. And actually, in the introduction and in this thing and all, they introduced me as in Saudi Arabia. Now, actually, I have left Saudi Arabia and I'm on the verge of going to Canada, moving to Canada. There is a institution, I mean, there's a university in Winnipeg I'm just waiting to change the university in any other place, because I heard that is like, I came to know that that is a very coldest place. So if possible, I may change or I may go there. But meanwhile, one like thing is like, I have to look into my family also. My mother is not well, so I have to take care of that also. So I'm just in this thing. But all wherever I was, I had a very good experience of teaching and learning more. And when I went first, just a small incident I would like to share. Then I will share my PPT. When I went to first to Sultanate of Oman in 1999, I never know people. I mean, you may be surprised, you may be astonished. I never knew that Arabic, a single letter or anything, and nothing about Arabic language. Nothing. It was zero, or I can say even -0 or something like that. And first day when I went there, what I'm telling is how we get I mean, somebody is going to speak about the challenges, but I'm just giving you my experience about the challenge. Um, when I went there, and night 10:30 or something like that, we landed in Muscat. Muscat Airport, and from Muscat Airport they had to shift us to some other area. People came running with one kind of book, and they said, "You write your name. You write." I said, "What is this?" And that was a passbook of the bank, and they're asking me, "Just write." And we are just landing in the airport, and we are in the airport, and people are coming and asking us to write everything. Means the bank people, that is the International Bank of Oman. Those bank people wanted us to open an account. We still do not know which province are we going, and what is this and what not, and all that. Anyway, so that was my first experience. I did not know, and what the person was telling, I couldn't understand. I couldn't comprehend. And that was the first challenge of translation, I can say, or language, I can say. And so that is how the journey goes on. And nowadays, as Khan sir was mentioning about a lot of difficulties and all those things, we undergo a lot of things like. So by this, let me go to the exact this thing, and let me share my PPT. One second, I'll off the video. Is it visible? Excuse me? Excuse me?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible?
Yes, yes, yes. It is
Hmm.
visible.
Yes, you and your PPT is on. Please. Please continue, ma'am. Hello. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Please continue.
Okay. Actually, first let me quote about the translation. Okay. Okay. First one, I took this a quote on translation, and as we are talking about translation, I have taken professionalism. So, what is professionalism and what is translation? There are two parts here. We have to understand profession as well as translation.
Yeah.
The translation is a privileged writer, translator actually, and his work will be a privileged work, who has the opportunity to rewrite masterpieces in their own language. As example of Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali, because Rabindranath Tagore, he wrote first in Bengali the short poems, this is my prayer to thee and all that. When they said, when it was in Bengali, how do the other writers, like in the sense like other writers of India, I mean, far off from India, or their, when I went to the Rabindranath Tagore Shanti Niketan and all that, when I saw those places, it was really so different. And when you go to some desert places in Middle East, it is a very, kind of extremes actually. Why I'm saying is this: the writers who sit in one place and write, and when they get ideas, the atmosphere, the surroundings, all matters. For the original writer, even to the translator, I mean. So Rabindranath Tagore, when he started writing Gitanjali, and if you visit Shantiniketan and his house and all that, there are every you visit that museum, you don't feel like coming out of that. You feel that you are in the place of Rabindranath Tagore. Maybe, I mean, we are not so great, but still, you get that kind of inspiration. That's what I wanted to say. So that kind of masterpieces, when they write, the original writers, and the translator has an very good, he is really blessed to translate those kind of writings. So what happens is, when as doctor mentioned earlier, It was given to W.B. Yeats. Of course, W.B. Yeats had read all the Upanishads and all the Indian philosophy and everything. But still, it was not, I mean, people were not so satisfied with the original Bengali writings of Gitanjali and translated one. So somebody suggested him, I don't remember who suggested, somebody suggested him to write, I mean, he himself could translate it. And that is where the real masterpiece came out. Though it is translated, we cannot say that is translated from Bengali to English. Anyway, so that is and the translator has the privilege in the sense, like, the writer Rabindranath Tagore had his own, and that's why, like, all his writings he started to translate himself. The translation is not a matter of words only, but it is a matter of making intelligible a whole culture. This is very important quote, and I would say very understandable, very comprehensible quote. Because
Yeah, of course.
whenever we are talking about translation, we are not talking about, we are not just, talking word to word. Because we are, if it is like, for example, in the banks, you see, when you go to the bank, there is, I mean, because I'm in Karnataka state. If it is any other state, that state language word will be there. They would have translated that. That's fine. For example, it is education. In Arabic, they'll say talim. In this thing, they'll say vidyabhyasa. Something like that they will give in different languages. Then what happens is, one word, that's okay. One sentence also taken for granted, okay, we can understand. But when we are translating something, big works, masterpieces, poems, or like, there are different genres for us in English literature. In every language literature, we have different genres, like poetry, novels, and anecdotes, or some plays. All these kinds are there. So how do we translate them? What is the idea of translation? First thing, what we have to see is, how professional are we in translating? So what are you keeping in your mind when you're translating? The things what you have to keep in your mind is, what am I doing first? First, I'm translating a poem or a novel or whatever it is. I should read that text, original text, thoroughly. Word to word, I should read and I should understand. I should understand, not word to word. I mean, I can understand myself. One word is one word, like this, I can understand. But the gist, the idea, the total idea of, so, and you have to understand it in a very standard way, not like, in a simple, this thing. So whenever you're planning to translate a book, first select a book or a novel or whatever the piece of translation is, original writing. You first check what it is. And take the standard book or a standard write up, and first try to take a paragraph. When you're starting your profession as a translator, first take up a paragraph, read it thoroughly, understand the theme of it, and then go to the what you say, difficult words which can be used in the language which you want to translate. Nowadays, as Khan Saab was mentioning, uh, translation is very easy, they say. But is it so easy? And many colleges have a course about this translation, because earlier we would have only literature, and now we have linguistics, and now we have in linguistics we have different psycholinguistics, sociolinguistics, like that, and translation also has come as a one. So there is a methodology for that, there is a point in that, there are theories and all that. So all that first we have to go through and then start the work. So when when we talk about this translation, we have to remember so many things. What all those? The idea of the where the atmosphere in which the original writer has written the original text and all that. And he or she has to have the idea of the place also, because how they are brought up, in what culture they have brought up, what do they know about it. Now for example, in yeah for example, if there is any in India, we know we have lots of festivals. If you go on counting, every day, 365 days, we can celebrate one festival like that. So how do we in case if we have to translate all these festivals into different languages? It could be Chinese, it could be Arabic, it could be Persian, it could be Hindi, or any other language, even this thing. See, and here we have to, I mean, to bring to notice of our intelligence or of our knowledge, we have to see there are lots of tribal people in Middle East and all. They call them as Bedouins. They say Bedouins or Bedouins or however you pronounce it. They have a different language. And how do you understand them? If you don't know their language or they do not know our language. So their translation plays a very, very vital role. So how do you translate those things? Now, how do you know that you have to use the same word and that is equivalent to the word which originally exists? That the way of translating, the translator should keep in mind all these points in his this thing in his mind when he's translating. Now, when we are discussing about this point, we know that there is a great importance given to this translation. So we are celebrating in all over the world as an International Translation Day on September 30th. And we call it as like, it is the day of the feast of Saint Jerome, the Bible translator, who is considered to be the patron saint of translators. So,
Yeah.
so that from there we come to the, we take the calculations, or we have to consider and we have to celebrate this. So the day aims to recognize the translation professionals who help to connect these all nations. Actually, now the digital, when we are talking about translation, we can never forget about the digital, or now again, the recent development is AI, how it is helping us. When I was in, again, I have to give my example. First day, I told you about my bank experience, bank people. And I started like my first day of work. after teaching and all that, 5 o'clock, that time, I mean, their local time, 5 o'clock, we had a meeting. And 5 to 6, 1 hour, the meeting went on. Can you believe 1 hour? Those people, I mean, my principal or other colleagues or anybody, it was all new for me. Nothing I was aware of, like, Arabic language, as I told you. Hindi, I know. Urdu, some of my Urdu friends were there, so I could understand some of the Urdu also, because some words in Urdu language also. And we would read some shairis, and my second language was Hindi in the college. So sometimes some Urdu words would be included in the same texts and all. But Arabic as such, probably 1 or 2 words I was trying to catch, I was very keenly observing, where is this, like how, which word I know, which word I will be trying to understand. The whole 1 hour meeting, I did not understand a single word. Arabic is such a rich language, like Sanskrit, like Persian, I mean, like Greek, Latin. So all these languages are very, very rich in their vocabulary is like, you will be amazed. You cannot go par with that. You cannot talk, you don't have a second word to say there. So 1 hour meeting went on. They never used or any other language. See, that is the richness of the languages. So when that is the richness of the language, any language for that matter, you should understand the language better. And then you take up the work of translating. So, these kind of experiences will teach us where are we, and what we have to do. We are we are thinking, oh, I finished my master's, I finished my PhD, I finished my this, oh, I don't have anything to do, but we are zeros again. So in this kind of works, when we have to choose a profession, we have to be very careful and we have to go on. So anyway, we have to thank the whole world that is celebrating the International Translation Day on September 30th, and that is like, But nowadays, we are talking about this profession, and sometimes we feel sad that any Tom, Dick, and Harry is trying to translate, keeping the Google or keeping the any other devices and all. When I was talking about AI and digital, the same 1999 years experience and 2015 or 16, we had another international conference in Saudi Arabia, where we were watching them only through the TV, and we were in the other room, and they were speaking. So we had now the digital came into our help. It was immediately translating, So that fastness, that what you say, the speed of the translating was amazing. But still, how much or what was the quality of translating, that we had to see. And when we talk about these things, as I told you, methodology and theories are all there, as Doctor mentioned about different theories and all. I don't know whether I have some time to talk about this. So, but anyway, when we talk about translation, first thing is there are two ways of translating. One is professional translating and the other one is unprofessional translating. So what is professional translating? That is what I'm telling now. You have to take the you have to see professional translators. What do they mean? How do you say he's a professional translator or he's an unprofessional translator? So professional translation is like, who talks, who translates academic disciplines and interdisciplinary things, and translation as a profession, who have taken that and their work is that. Unprofessional translation is the other way. Somebody who takes it as a hobby and goes on translating, or they may not follow any method, or they may not follow anything like, any such things like that. So we are talking about this one. I just have noted. One second, I'll come back to this one. Actually, when we talk about translation method, many scholars and writers from all over the world in the past, they have some suggestion. What is their suggestion is, they say diverse translation method and process, both can be in things like, it can be in small as well as in big things. For example, they say the big, which includes the big translations, which includes content, there should be content accuracy, attitude, function equivalence, and equivalent effect, and there should be kind of demonstration, all that thing. And the smaller translation, which includes, as professor mentioned, syntactic structure, grammar, lexis, and all those things. But the big translation, what we call it as macro translation, what we call, that should have all these things: the attitude, the content accuracy, functioning equivalence, as well as equivalent effect, and all those things. Which includes analysis or transfer, that should be restructured, and when we are testing it, like. So anyway, professional translation must those people who are doing such work must pay special attention to the interdisciplinary professional knowledge and their ability about these things, like. So when I told you about the translation method, the simple one and the small one, or the big one, or you can call it as micro and macro, or you can call it as big epics and such things. Now we have to see, for us in India, we have the Ramayana and Mahabharata, which are translated. So many people have, in India, if we take, there are at least 18 languages, I think, if I'm correct, 18 languages which are recognized as national languages. So, for in Hindi we talk about Ramcharitmanas and such things, like big works and all. So have they, when they were taking all these big or macro books or macro this thing, how did they translate it? What method they used? We have understood now. There, that efficacy should be there. That efficiency of translating should be there. You should understand the culture, the literature, the professionalism should be there. And you're not involving any such political matters which are not there, or which are not included in the this thing and all. For example, we can even give some E.V. Krishna Ramakrishnan, who has won Sahitya Academy Award in Karnataka, which is given to the writers. And recently, one of my teachers, where I studied in Mysore University, Dr. Chandar, has translated one of the Kannada novels to the English language. And he has won Sahitya Academy Award for that work. So there are many writers who have original, like who have done their own work, translated their own work into the other language by themselves, and they have given permission for others to translate. A lot of lists as such writers and all those people. I have a list here. We have classical Telugu stores, which V.P. Rao has given a very good epilogues and all those things he has translated, and it is really very brilliant work which he has done. Eguni Nida theories of translation. This work is also done by the work. So there are some people who have given books on translation, how to work on it, how to write how to go and study about the theories and all such things, and the methodologies and the exact many people have given the possible readable translated works to us, which is a very significant work, which we have to read, which we professionals, or which we academicians, or the students all must read, who want to take up translation as a profession. And there are many references on this. I think I forgot the... Okay, I think I stopped sharing the screen. Okay. So I was talking about this profession. Scholars around, they should have the authority, the the people who take up this as a profession, translation as a profession, and all over the world, they see it as a occasional field of study today. For example, the graduate programs in China or Taiwan or any other countries, how they resolve the problems of translation. Now, actually, even Japan, Japanese, it was very difficult in 1950s, 1960s, 70s, 80s, and all that. The Chinese, even now, they are struggling, because otherwise they would have done still more wonders in the world. So, the how to resolve the problem of translation practice and instructions. In Australia, what they have done is, in order to meet the demands of translation due to multiculturalism, because such countries have different cultures and different nationalities and all those things. So, NAA, to see what you say, National Accreditation Authority for Translators and Interpretation, has been established to maintain the quality of profession and par professional translation. This we have to remember. And to conclude, I think I have spoken about touched up on all these points. Like to say, the translators had better have professional knowledge and ability, because they should have they should be well versed in the translation fields, whether it is in law and politics, finance and economy, mass media, science, technology, environment, whatever the subjects are. They should be, even talking about this, even talking about the mass media, ballroom dancing, in each respect, so as to be, they have to be competent in translating. During this process of translation, the interdisciplinary professional knowledge and ability are the most important things that we have to remember. So I have taken some references like Baker. It was written in 2010. Koch and Gonzalez. Some of these books I have referred, and I have made a note of it. And so finally, I would like to say, those who want to take up this translation as a profession have to work a lot, and have to have knowledge about both the languages and both the idea of the topic and the the main the as such. There are points which we have talked about, and I can give you some references also, some writers who are successful and who are not successful also. For example, when I was talking about unprofessional translators, maybe unprofessional or maybe professional translators, we have one very good example, Macbeth's, Shakespeare's Macbeth's. There are lines like this, Wanton boys and all those, when we talked about out, candle out, something like that. Those lines, I'm not able to recall now. Those lines were translated in Kannada. Out. The idea, the translator did not understand what is the basic idea, what is the writer's original idea when he wrote those lines. So he just translated the word to word. In Kannada, I mean, he has translated in Kannada. I don't know who it was, but our professors would say, see, this kind of bad translation should not be published, should not be given. But in one way, when you see these kind of translations, you should read and understand that these kind of works you shouldn't do. which work you should do and which work you shouldn't do. This would be the example. So he translated, like, in Kannada, out means horage, bahar bolte hai na, aisa. So horage, mombatti, candle, when he said candle is mombatti. So kind of translation, and he said, where is Shakespeare and where is this man? What is he trying to say? What is the idea of Shakespeare and what is he trying to translate? So I would like to conclude, and I would say by saying that let us be professional while doing this kind of work, and let us give some of our let us contribute of our good standard translation works to the society, wherein that might influence or that might inspire others to do something. So by this, I would like to end my speech, and I would like to thank each and everyone again for giving me an opportunity to speak about this topic and to share my ideas of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. For focusing on professionalism in translation.
Yeah. Very happy to listen you, Mahodaya.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
1 minute. Honorable ma'am has focused on professionalism, and her insights were truly enlightening. Now we are going to start next session, and with great pleasure, I introduce Honorable Dr. Divya Prabha Palani ma'am. Honorable ma'am is an accomplished scholar and an inspiring educator. She currently serves as an assistant professor in the Department of English at Srimati Devkuvar Nanalal Bhatta Vaishnav College for Women, Chennai. A shining academic achiever, Dr. Palani is a gold medalist in her UG postgraduate and MPhil from Ithiraj College for Women, Chennai. Her outstanding academic journey has been marked by several medals, rolling cups, shields, and cash awards, reflecting her unwavering commitment to excellence. Her research expertise encompasses post-colonial studies, Dalit writings, and Latin American studies. Honorable Ma'am has actively contributed to the academic community by presenting research papers at national, international seminars and conferences. In recognition of her insignificant contributions to English research studies, Dr. Pelani was recently honored with the Best Young Professor Award by the University of Putra, Malaysia. I congratulate ma'am for this achievement. Her dedication to scholarly pursuits and her passion for academic excellence make her a distinguished presence in today's seminar. Let us extend a warm welcome to Dr. Palani, and I now invite her to share her insights on the topic Role of Translation in Constructing Culture.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, dear Ahilya Barure ma'am. I also thank the institution for having recognized me and given me this wonderful opportunity. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Sharing my screen. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Yes, your PPT is visible. Please continue, ma'am.
Yeah. So to begin with, my presentation will be on role of translation in constructing cultures. So, translation in India is a dynamic and an evolving practice that reflects the country's linguistic diversity and cultural richness. Now, it serves as a bridge between communities, promoting a very deeper understanding and playing a very pivotal role in the ongoing dialogue between tradition and modernity. Now, in this presentation, we will explore the historical roots of translation in India, its role in cultural exchange, the challenges faced by the translators, and the global impact of Indian translations. Finally, if time permits, we will look at the future translation in India and its role in national integration. Now, translation, the cultural bridge of India. So, with 22 official languages and over 1,600 spoken languages and dialects, translation serves as a critical tool for cultural understanding in India. It bridges the gaps between regions, fostering a sense of unity amidst a tapestry of cultures. So now let's trace the historical roots of translation in India. So to begin with the ancient period, the roots of translation in India can be traced back to ancient times when texts were translated only for religious, philosophical, and literary purposes. Now, notable examples include the translation of Sanskrit texts into regional languages, uh, again, the spread of Buddhism involved the translation of Buddhist scriptures from Pali and Sanskrit into Tibetan and Chinese languages. So here we'll have to understand that even during the ancient period, we had this cross-cultural interactions. Now, moving on to the colonial influence, we all know that the British East India Company established itself in the country around 1600, and this marked a turning point in the history of translation in India. The introduction of English as a medium of education and administration led to the translation of Indian texts into English and the translation of English literature into Indian languages. Again, this period saw the emergence of Indian translators who worked to bridge cultural gaps and promote regional literatures. The next we have the medieval period. So during this medieval period, we had the Mughals ruling the north and northwestern frontiers of India. Prominently, it was the Persian and Arabic translations of Indian works that shaped the intellectual landscape of that time. The Mughal era also saw significant cultural exchanges, with translations contributing to the synthesis of various traditions. Now, coming to post independence developments, after India gained its independence in 1947, translation was recognized as a crucial tool for national building and for fostering national integration. The Constitution of India acknowledges the importance of multiple languages, promoting translation as a means to ensure access to knowledge and information across linguistic barriers. Now, various government initiatives and literary movements during the post independence period aimed to celebrate and support translation efforts. Now, lastly, the contemporary landscape. Today, translation in India encompasses a wide array of fields, including literature, academia, media, and technology. Literary translation has gained prominence, with many contemporary writers and translators working to bring regional works to national and international audiences. Further, the rise of digital platforms has facilitated the sharing of translated content, enabling greater visibility for diverse voices. Now, translation and cultural exchange. So, translation serves as a vital tool in preserving literary and oral traditions. In a way, it bridges the linguistic diversity across the states. We will also have to understand that through translation, literary works from different regions of India reach wider audience, promoting a deeper understanding and appreciation of diverse cultures. Now, this again fosters a sense of unity and a shared identity among the people of India, despite our linguistic differences. Now, moving on to a very special slide, translation in contemporary India. Now, translation in contemporary India plays a very crucial role, reflecting the country's linguistic diversity and cultural richness. Now, here are some key aspects of translation in modern India. The first one is literary translation. Now, literary translation landscape in India has expanded significantly with a growing number of translators bringing regional literature to wider audience. Now, this includes the translation of works from languages such as Hindi, Bengali, Tamil, and Malayalam into English, allowing readers to access to diverse narratives and voices. In the recent times, we are used to literary festivals and awards that ensures that the act of translation has been increasingly recognized. And again, there is a lot of importance given to translation, translated works, and authors in the recent times. Now, the second one, cultural exchange and representation. As Indian writers gain international recognition, their works are often translated into multiple languages, thereby representing Indian culture on global platforms. Similarly, translations of foreign literature into Indian languages contribute to a broader understanding of the various global perspectives. The third one, digital media influence. The rise of digital media has indeed transformed the translation landscape to a very great extent. It is very true that the online platforms, ebooks, and social media have made translated content more accessible than ever in the history of mankind. News articles, films, television shows are, they are frequently translated to cater to the needs of multiple audiences, enhancing the reach of information and entertainment across different regions. The next one, academic and scientific translation. In academia, translation plays an essential role in making research and scholarly work accessible to the speakers of various languages. Now, translations of academic texts, journals, and scientific literature help facilitate knowledge transfer and collaboration among researchers from different linguistic backgrounds. Now, it is very important to note here that academic and scientific translation is particularly very important in a country like India, where multiple languages coexist within educational institutions too. Now, the fifth one, political and social discourse. Now, translation is instrumental in political and social movements, allowing, it allows the marginalized voices to be heard and understood. Translation has a very important role to play here. Translated works related to rights, governance, social justice contribute to public awareness and mobilization. The translation of key texts can definitely help spread messages of change and reforms against, across linguistic divides. The last one, translation studies and education. Of late, there is a growing interest in translation studies as an academic discipline in India. Educational institutions are increasingly offering programs focused on translation theory and practice, preparing a new set or a new generation of translators equipped to navigate the complexities of multilingual context. So, moving on to the most interesting segment, artificial intelligence and translation. So, no doubt, AI is revolutionizing the translation industry by improving its efficiency, accuracy, and accessibility. While AI driven tools offer significant benefits, the collaboration between human translators and artificial intelligence remains essential to ensure high quality outcomes. So, here are some key aspects on how AI is creating an impact in translation. So, to begin with, it's mission translation. So, AI driven mission translation systems such as Google Translate, DeepL, Deep Learning, and Microsoft Translator utilize complex algorithms and neural networks to provide instant translations between languages. Now, this is something we are all used to. We keep using these Google translators and Microsoft translators. So, all these systems analyze vast amounts of text data to learn language patterns, grammar, and context, allowing them, to generate increasingly accurate translations. Now, the second one, neural machine translation. NMT, as it is quite often referred to, represents a significant advancement over traditional statistical machine translation method. It uses deep learning techniques to understand the context of sentences and produce more fluent and coherent translations. NMT systems can capture minute nuances and idiomatic expressions better when compared to the other translation tools. The third one, customization and adaptability. Now, we all know that AI translation tools can be customized to meet specific needs, adapting to different domains, such as legal, medical, technical fields. By training on specialized data sets, these systems can actually improve their accuracy and relevance needed for particular industries. Now, the fourth one, post editing and human AI collaboration, the most important form that is being adapted by the MHRD, Government of India, for translating the NPTEL courses, National Program for Technology Enhanced Learning courses, into regional languages of India. Post editing and human AI collaboration has improved the quality of mission translations. Uh, while AI has improved the quality of mission translations, human translators will continue to play an important role in ensuring accuracy and cultural appropriateness. So, this very subtly tells us that though science and technology can make drastic advancements, machines can never emote the way or process any given content like the human mind. So, in post editing, we find that human translators are involved. They refine the AI generated translations, combining the speed of machine translation and the understanding of a human translator. Now, this collaboration enhances the overall translation quality. Now, the last one, real time translation. Now, AI technologies facilitate real-time translation in various applications, including communication tools, video conferencing, and customer support. Features like live subtitles, voice translation enable seamless interactions between speakers of different languages, fostering greater global connectivity. Now, here are some notable AI tools for translation that might help you. Now, to begin with Google Translate. Google Translate offers translation for over 100 languages using neural machine translation, the NMT technology, supporting text, speech, and image translations. And the second one, DeepL Translator. This is known for its high quality translations. DeepL uses advanced deep learning techniques to deliver more contextually accurate translations in several languages. So moving on to the third one, iTranslate. Now, this is a mobile app that offers text and voice translation in multiple languages, along with features like offline translation and website translation. The fourth one, System. Now, this provides, AI-driven translation solutions customized for business. It focuses on industry-specific terminology, and it offers both automatic and human-assisted translation. The next is LingvaNext. Now, this AI-assisted tool supports over 100 languages with features such as voice translation, text to speech, and dictionary support. Unbearable. Now, Unbearable combines AI and human translation to provide high quality translations for customer support and business communication, ensuring a high quality, you have good quality and contextual understanding of the given subject matter. The next one, MacCat. Now, this is an open source translation tool that utilizes AI to assist translators with terminology management, streamlining the translation process. The next few tools, apart from the above mentioned tools, we also have the most virally and predominantly used translation tools by the Ministry of Human Resource Development in India. One is Anuvadini, we have Translingua, Chitralekha, and Bashin. Now, this Anuvadini was developed by the AICTE under the Ministry of Education, Government of India. Now, this tool, it's a translation tool that gives accurate language conversion. It can translate videos, text, documents, and previous year question papers into 22 Indian languages, be it NET, SET, or UPSC question papers, Public Service Commission question papers. It can translate into 22 official languages of India. Now, coming to Translingua and Chitralekha, both these tools, translation tools, are used by the NPTEL team. The NPTEL and MHRD has taken an initiative to translate over 1,800 NPTEL courses into 18 official languages of India. It is in the process. Once it gets completed, we'll start working on the other four official languages also. Initially, they've started with 18 official languages of India, and Translingua and Chitralekha are the translation tools that have been developed by the Indian companies for this uh, translation work. And coming to Bhashini, now Bhashini is again, a software tool developed by an Indian company, developed by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology under the National Language Translation Mission, wherein it is the most sought after tool, translation tool by the UPSC aspirants. Now, problems with translation in India. So, translation in India faces several challenges due to the country's unique linguistic and cultural landscape. So, to begin with, we have linguistic diversity. Since India is a home to 1,600 languages and dialects, this diversity can lead to inconsistencies in translation quality and accuracy. The second one, cultural nuances. Words and phrases often carry cultural connotations that may not have direct equivalents in a target language. So it is very difficult for the translators to navigate these nuances carefully and convey the intended meaning without losing the cultural significance. The third comes the standardization issues. Now, many Indian languages lack standardized grammar and vocabulary, which can once again, complicate the translation process. Technical terminology. In specialized fields such as law, medicine, and technology, the use of technical jargon can pose significant challenges. Possible difficulties could be to find appropriate terminology that is both accurate and widely understood in the target language. Now, fifth one, quality control. The translation industry in India often lacks rigorous quality control measures. Now, the varying levels of professionalism among translators can lead to translations that fail to meet, any client's expectations. Sixth one, the limited resources. Though there is a growing demand for translation services, especially in the context of globalization of the digital content, resources such as comprehensive glossaries, databases, and training programs, especially for translators, are still limited. Market fragmentation. The translation market in India is highly fragmented with numerous small time players and freelancers. This fragmentation can again make it difficult for difficult to establish consistent standards and practices across the translation industry. Eighth one, intellectual property concerns. Translators often face challenges related to copyrights and intellectual property rights. Especially when translating literary works or proprietary content. Now, navigating these legal aspects can again be quite complex. The ninth one, technological barriers. While advancements in machine translation and localization of these tools have improved efficiency, there is still a struggle with the subtleties of human language. When it comes to idiomatic expressions and context-specific meanings, still there is a lot of issue. The last one, lack of recognition. Now, there is often a lack of recognition and importance for translation in the country. This can lead to undervaluation of translation services, resulting in lower pay and fewer incentives for skilled translators who are already in the field or people who are about to enter the field. So, with all these challenges, we understand that these problems are, somehow needs to be addressed, and this requires huge efforts to be taken by the governmental bodies, educational institutions, and industry professionals to promote effective translation ecosystem in India. The global impact of Indian translations. So, needless to say, Indian translation is gaining increasing recognition on the world's literary stage, and thanks to the efforts of the translators, translations serve as cultural ambassadors representing diverse narrative traditions. Here, we need to understand that it is only through translation very great, or very vibrant Indian stories can resonate with the readers across the world, bridging cultural divides and creating a sense of shared humanity. Uh, you know, this contributes to a more inclusive and interconnected global community where diverse voices can be heard and valued. The future of translation in India. So translation in India, the future is really very bright, and with emerging translational technologies crafted to revolutionize the industry, translation in India will definitely continue to serve as a bridge between communities, promoting dialogue and communication. Right now, preserving the linguistic heritage is the key priority for the government to ensure celebrating and protecting the diverse languages and cultures of the land. Translation will continue to facilitate to facilitate international trade and cultural exchange. The future directions. So this is the need of the hour. The dire need of the hour is to encourage greater investment in translation training, and education in order to develop skilled workforce. And again, we need to promote the use of translation technologies to enhance efficiency and accuracy. We need to support initiatives that preserve and promote the linguistic diversity of India. And again, there is a dire need to foster greater collaboration between translators, authors, and publishers to ensure the quality and authenticity of translations. The last and the most important point here is policy making. We need to advocate for policies that recognize the importance of translation in promoting cultural exchange and national integration. So, by taking all these steps, necessary steps, we can harness the power of translation to build a more inclusive and interconnected India. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. It was very nice presentation. Actually, language, literature, and culture are inseparable part of our life. Literature, especially translated literature, enriches different cultures, and we are living in the world of multiculturalism. You have focused in detail on artificial intelligence, translation, future of translation. Thank you very much, ma'am, once again. Now, I request Dr. Vasant Gaikwad, sir, to present vote of thanks. Gaikwad, sir.
Hello. Okay, continue. It is my request to all the participants. They must uh, put on their camera on because of we could take the photo of all the participants. Please put on your camera. I am Dr. Vasant Gaikwad from Department of English. It is my privilege and honor to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of English, Yeshwantrao Chauhan College, Ambezolai, for today's one-day online international seminar on translation studies and contemporary literature held on Friday, 4th April 2025. First and foremost, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our respected principal, Honorable Dr. Sudas Sirsak sir, for his inspiring address and continuous encouragement that made this seminar possible. A special thank to Dr. Mukunda Rajpankhe, head of the Department of English, for his warm welcome note and tireless efforts in coordinating this event. We are deeply grateful to our esteemed inaugurator, Honorable Dr. Mustajib Khan, Professor and Head, Department of English, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, for his enlightening speech and gracious presence. Our sincere appreciation goes to our keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Nag Nagkala Gopal Krishna, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Science College, LA University, Dammam, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, for her thought-provoking and address and valuable insights into contemporary literature and translation studies. We are equally thankful to our resource person, Honorable Dr. Divya Prabha Pazhani, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Srimati Devang, Dev, Devkumar Nagala Bhatta, Vaishnav College for Women, Autonomous, Chennai, for her engaging and informative session regarding to AI translation. I also thank opportunity to Dr. Ahilya Barure, Professor, Department of English, for her support and guidance thought throughout the planning and execution of this seminar. Our heartfelt thanks to all the participants, academicians, scholars, and students from across the globe who joined us and contributed to the success of this international seminar. Last but not least, I thank our technical and organizing team for their behind the screen effort in ensuring the smooth conduct of this one day online international seminar. Once again, thank you all for your valuable time and active participation. Have a great day ahead. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, Dr.
Thanks to all the organizers who have arranged a very successful event, and our wishes and our blessings will be there for all those who have worked on this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Alkadala, madam. And almost all who remained.
If there's a chance, we can meet not virtually.
Thank you, everybody. Please. Dr. Ahilya Barure.
Yes, sir.
So shall we have
Now feedback link
all our
now
feedback link will be provided.
feedback link will be shared on the WhatsApp group, and after that you will receive the certificates. Please
Thank you,
cooperate
one and all.
with all participants.